Hello again, this is your friendly neighborhood host, JT Wheatley, back for another episode of the History of Comics podcast. This time with another episode of the classics on the Jayo by Junji Ito. This is a now classic horror manga, which tells the tale of Tadashi and Kariya, two boy and girlfriend who go off on vacation and somehow notice this strange fish-like creatures coming out of the ocean. They realize they're trapped in these weird mechanisms, and people are getting sick and they're getting off this awful stench. And soon it's not just fish they're attacking, but people start getting infected as well, and it turns into a true zombie body horror tale. That's honestly one of the scariest mangas, if not the scariest horror tales in recent years. This is true. Junji Ito really gets into the true horror of this whole thing, especially like you can actually feel the smell, disgust, and death that emanates off these creatures. And what Tadashi and Kariya go through is just horrifying, to say the least. As they're just trying to survive in what's one of the most monstrous things you'll ever see. And this is just a crazy mix and twist, and it's the body horror and just everything. It just makes one of the more creepy horror mangas, and like I said, just horror comics and stories in general. You're looking for a good scare in the comic books, look no further than this. It's just a great creepy read in general. It also has two great backup stories, the Sad Case of the Principal Post, and also the Tale of a Mirror Fault, which are two also great short creepy manga stories. So yeah, manga has a lot of great variety, and horror is no different. So yeah, pick up Jayo, the complete collection by Junji Ito. It is a definite class today, and it will definitely creep you out. And now it is March 28th, 2020, time for, well, my favorite read of the week. As even though new comic books are back in the stands, nothing caught my eye, and with the recent lost new comics for a while, I've actually kind of enjoyed the habit of picking up a new trade I haven't read in a while, or haven't really gotten around to read. And of all the ones, I picked up a real classic as well, The Saga of the Swamp Thing, Book 1, which collects Saga of the Swamp Thing issues number 20 to 27 from 1984, which featured the debut of Alan Moore as the writer, along with great art by Steven Bissett and John Totleben, in which Alan Moore literally reinvents this classic DC character from the 1970s into a true horror character, most notably in the issue number 21, in which his called Anatomy Lesson, in which his entire origin is reinvented, and Swamp Thing becomes a whole new and very dynamic creature. And one actually argued that this is where the DC Vertigo line, which is sadly now ended, really launched from here, because this is a whole new level of storytelling and mature reading in general, and it's just great reading. Moore just does a great creepy read, does a great reinvention of the character. It really feels like a true horror comic at this point, while Steven Bissett and John Totleben, and along with Rick Vetch at some certain point, give this great creepy atmospheric arc as well. I mean, even the Pharaonic Man of all villains gets revived, and this is the beginning of a great revival of a classic DC character, to the point where even though he was invented by the late great Len Wein and Bernie Wrightson, Alan Moore defined this character so much in this run that the recent sadly canceled DC Universe Swamp Thing show is really more based on this than anything else. So yeah, this is probably going to have to be this is the first of 6 volumes that collects Alan Moore's entire run from DC, and I'll have to get up all 6 to really do a great classic examination of this too, because this is a great classic run. They're also notable for launching Alan Moore's American career. So yeah, if you're in a comic book store and no new comic books catch your fancy, definitely pick this one up. And also, I'd like to point out that a recent new comic book adaptation, Stargirl, premiered on the CW recently, and I'm really enjoying this show. It's a good old-fashioned, fun superhero show. Brett Basinger is great as a title character. You just enjoy it from beginning to end. I really like her dynamic with her stepdad, played by Luke Wilson. And in many ways, it reminds me a lot of the first season of The Flash, how much fun and dynamic that season was. And of course, the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The episode premiered last night. It looks to be another fun episode that finds the team in the 1930s trying to save S.H.I.E.L.D. from being formed to begin with. And at this point, the cast has really melded together. Of course, Clark Gregg is great as usual as Coulson. He's easily the reason why you watch the show. But all the other cast members are great as well. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. And I'm going to miss this show, though. Yeah, 7 seasons, but that's a great run for any TV show. And with that, please join me again next week. But until then, stay safe through this whole COVID mess. Practice social distancing. But of course, be sure to go out and enjoy some good comic book. And if you can, pick up Jaio. That is a true horror classic.